Hello and welcome to RPG Blokes. Today's episode is Tips to Stay Alive. Dying in D&D is almost a rite of passage, but that doesn't mean you have to go out like a wally. And remember, survival isn't just about rolling high, it's about playing smart. So today, we're sharing our 10 essential survival tips to help you not be the next cautionary tale at the table. Introducing the RPG Blokes. John, even after 40 years of playing D&D, is still scared of Ravenloft.
Early edition.
It's been a while since he gave up adventuring in the lands of dread and ran crying into the mists. And actually, that reminds me, there is a new RPG out that might interest you, John, actually. It's called Portals and Pussies.
Well, guess which one I'd like to be.
Stephen Seagal, as I like to think of him, as like his namesake, I have often found him hard to kill. Plot armor doesn't come close to explaining his ability to stay alive. No, that will be his loaded dice.
Oh, hang on. We played Cthulhu long enough. He killed me in every single one of those games, I remember.
Barry. It was often said he likes to do the stupid thing. The term TPK, Total Party Kill, was invented for him. Obviously, Barry's tips on how to stay alive should be taken with a pinch of salt. Okay, so we've got, we think, the 10 clearest examples of how you can stay alive in an RPG. So the first one you may well have all heard of. It's a trope. It has many T-shirts, I'd imagine. Never split the party. It's a classic rule for a reason. Strength in numbers, would you say?
Well, that point of view is absolutely correct. You'd never split the party if you want to stay alive. Mechanically, all the scenarios are kind of created for a specific number of players. So obviously, if you're splitting those down, we're talking D&D, especially in dungeon crawls, and you're splitting the party into different rooms. You just watch the DM smile as you do so. It should be enough for you to say, okay, let's never do that again. So yeah, it makes it easy.
What, to pick them off?
To kill them off, yeah, it's too easy.
Or if they keep doing it, it's annoying as a DM, isn't it?
Yeah, there is. Like where everyone opens the doors all at the same time, then everything happens all at once, doesn't it? So.
And have you ever used that as a punishment for people doing that to you?
Yeah. You're making me read the entire scenario all at once. Every single door, I need to know what's in it now. Yeah, it's pain.
So that's it. This is fucking me off. So
they deserve to die.
Yeah.
To be fair. So that's why you should never split the party, okay? DM and player perspective.
Yeah, it's tough. It does put a lot of pressure on the DM, and yeah, some DMs can just have bad days and take it out on the weakest.
I just think sometimes lots of adventure stories require people doing things in different places. I think the reason people shy away from splitting the party, I don't think it's anything to do with surviving. And although I hadn't realised how evil Stephen was at that point, and maybe I need to reevaluate this opinion. I just think it makes the game disjointed.
John, splitting the party, any insight on that?
Well, there's at least two songs that spring to mind. One is Don't You Know You Never Split the Party. Highly recommend looking it up. And there's another one called Always the First to Die.
Featuring Barry.
But yeah, tactically, if you're in a fight situation, that can be problematic. But then there's roles that are hardwired in. So the rogue has to sneak off, to use their backstab, has to sneak off to do the scouting.
But that's not splitting the party in the way that we're saying here, because the DM isn't going to throw too much at him. He's literally walking ahead. It shouldn't be punished, should it? It's not technically the same thing. So you're a new player, you're sitting there and the party is split. We're trying to give somebody a tip on how to survive. We'd go with the one with the fighter, one without Barry.
No, you'd go with Barry. Because Barry would throw himself in front of anything. So definitely go with Barry. If Barry's playing a fighter, even better. Because he's going to be compelled to go in first, and you could sort of like linger a little bit back.
Go with the fighter or the barbarian.
Yeah, that's it.
The other way of dealing with traps. Walk through.
Yeah. So we'll move on to traps. So always check for traps would be our other tip here. Rushing around without caution, that's how you end up skewered, poisoned, or at the bottom of a pit. Checking for traps is a bit dull, isn't it? It becomes repetitive. There's no passive way of doing it, really. The DM can't just say, you've found a trap. It ruins the fun of it.
Traps, listening at the doors is the ultimate, isn't it? Every door you come to, you've got to listen at it. Gives you a bit of a clue of what's happening inside. Some people don't listen to doors, then, you're in trouble.
So
traps, listen. Make sure it's locked and then get someone else to open it. That's the checklist.
That is it. Yeah. So never do that yourself.
Oh, God, no.
And there's a door opening formation in every
Yeah,
group,
yeah.
isn't
Don't-
there? Fighters at the front.
Don't ever open the door yourself.
We've talked about how I've gone from like my love of the combat and stuff like that to kind of wrapping my head around role play and really starting to enjoy that bit. But I think role play comes into situations like this. If your characters are panicked and spooked, you should let them make mistakes. As a player, you
Yeah,
should.
but this is not a survival tip. We're talking survival tips here, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to spin it as I'm giving people survival tips for how they can survive as a player in the game for as long as they can, enjoying it for as long as they can. And I think if you're never going to let your character make a mistake when there is a perfectly valid reason for them to do it, you know, they're spooked, they're scared, they're stupid. You know, the idea that someone with an intelligence of 5 is going to fucking survive by trying to find traps, that's not playing your character properly.
But this is not a narrative thing we're trying to warn people or help people with here, because narratively I get where you're coming from. You know, you go with the flow, and complications improve your character play and make things more interesting. That is our style of play. We encourage that. But this is try to avoid dying stupidly, right? Or dying without any kind of meaning. There's a trap with your name on it somewhere in that dungeon, and it will get you somehow. It might be in a chest. I mean, you can't resist a chest, right, Barry? No, I don't mean that kind of chest. You can't, can you? I mean, every chest has your name on it.
I can resist a chest more than I can resist a lever.
Are you still being?
No, I wasn't. I mean, it's
Okay.
and like I want the game to be moving forward, and I don't know if I always endear myself with the other players with the way that I get it moving forward. But while everyone's talking about pulling the lever, if I'm playing that kind of character, not particularly bright and a bit gung ho, I will just pull the lever. And I've had some exasperated looks from my players, but that's what my guy would do. But for the benefit of the tape, Stephen just seriously rolled his eyes at me.
Tell us why.
As well, just considering if you had a catch like that, maybe your survival tip would be taking him out before he could do that. Hold person, drop him down a pit. I don't know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You got to remove all those sort of dangers from the party.
I suppose we're talking kind of largely like we often do specifically about D&D here, but there are, other systems where, like, if I was playing Call of Cthulhu, I'm not going to play a character like that. That's just insane. But I think in D&D you can survive for a really long time being stupid. You are really high powered. I'm not saying these as negative things. It's one of the things that makes it fun.
But not so much in your first session. If you've got the first level character, the most vulnerable you'll ever be playing D&D is that first level, isn't it? It's easy to die.
But then a good DM would put you or a well written module or whatever will be pitching you against appropriate adversaries.
Oh, you've not played early editions, have you?
No, I haven't. And
the first Dragon Warriors scenario, there's a fucking dragon in it.
But I would say, Barry, looking at the way you play this game, what we are talking about here, this is an art form. I've seen players that understand everything we're talking about here. We're only just begun, really. And they get it, and they make it look effortless. They survive just because they know this shit. And they will survive the toughest sessions, and they will never come a cropper. You've seen them. They just breeze their way through the whole thing, and they're going to be there at the end. And they can play the weakest characters, and that's the advantage. You don't need to
do then.
Excuse. Other excuses and advantage. Yes. We'll move on to the next one, which is play it coy. So a smart start wins the fight. Clever use of actions and positioning early on can give you the upper hand before the battle even begins. Stephen,
certainly, yeah. So you get initiative rolls, don't you? Sometimes you delay the initiative. Sometimes going first is not always the best. You kind of want to see what everyone else is doing because you don't want to join a combat and you're the only one fighting there. You want, technically, I suppose, to survive, you'd want to pick a combat that someone else is involved in as well. Yeah. Especially in systems that give you advantage to hit if you've got more than one person. To be in a fight with 2 people is massively.
Check out RPG Blokes Plus. It's our premium service where we give you the opportunity to help pay our bills. And we'll guarantee you an episode every week, exclusive live plays and interviews. And that's got to be worth £3 of anyone's money.
RPG Blokes Plus. Regular episodes for a regular you.
And having a delay in action. So if your action's called out, you need to have something in mind.
Make sure you know what you're doing, not just throwing yourself straight in there like Barry would.
Yes.
You certainly want to just play a bit coy, have a look, assess the battlefield, pick out the weakest enemy potentially, or go in with someone else to double your chances of survival.
Yeah. So what would be, and this is all about maintaining hit points as well, isn't it? So in D&D, sort of keeping your powder dry and your abilities dry and giving you that ability to act when the going gets tougher.
When the shit hits a fan, you can be still quite strong, yeah.
So what would be a good delay in action for you? What would you do?
Well, if you're a ranged person, I suppose you could load something or get an item out or load the crossbow, yeah. Or you can
Go on, John, tell us about that one.
That's all he was just about to bring
well,
up.
yeah, you can load the crossbow. I mean, yeah, we've had
An
not just me that does that, but there is
so
someone that does that.
reload times are your friend.
Yeah, well, suddenly you remind the DM of rules that you would never remind them of. It's like I've got my sword, but it's in my backpack somewhere. And it was around to get that out, isn't it? Yes, it's around to get that out, and then you're around down
And
because you've been honest. Being honest, you can't get the sword out immediately, can you?
It massively increases your survival chance. No kidding, it really is a very important one.
Your enjoyment factor might go down, but you will survive.
Okay, I would like to bring in, there's a particular feat in 5th edition. I don't normally talk about 5th edition, but this is a really good team feat where you can swap initiative with another player.
Can you force it upon somebody?
I think they've got to agree with it. And most of them do, because most of them want the first shot or something like that. And luckily, the character I'm playing has got a reasonable dex and another improved initiative feat as well. So on average, tend to do quite well. And other people want that.
So you can
And then
engineer going last. You can sort of delay your action within the
But
round.
it's a tactical. It gives you an overview. You can...
So being a fighter and somebody tough and having good initiative is to your advantage. But having to make that first move, deciding who's going to... once the fight is going down, it's difficult, isn't it, to sort of charge in without anybody behind you.
You could be the only one going, couldn't you? If you rolled the initiative and you went first and you charged in, everyone went, don't fancy that.
Well, D&D is terrible about really dishing out large amounts of damage within a single round, and there's no way to resist the damage. So you're taking it. There's no opposed rolls, and your resources are ticking down at all times. I am guilty of doing that. I play fighters, and I do that just to keep my hit points up, because otherwise I'm going to go down when I really don't want to. I'm just going to play it a little bit coy.
When I talk about like doing the stupid thing and not being so attached to my characters that it's devastating if they die, and if that's their story, that's their story. But if I'm in combat, I'm always trying to survive combat. I'm always trying to play that part of the game optimally, for want of a better word. In terms of tips for surviving that, well, be friendly to the healer. Keep that mofo on side.
Your medics and your chefs. Always look after them.
Well, yeah, teamwork, I suppose, is a good way of surviving, isn't it? If you do act as a team, I mean, being serious, if you can cooperate, then that's great.
And it is funny that in combat, they're not decisions that you're debating. It's not like, you're changing the direction of the party or the story or the narrative. It's just like, right, how do we kick these guys' asses without dying ourselves?
Check the wizard, that sort of thing.
This is about surviving yourself, and I think these tips, they're meant to be used discreetly, because they could anger people if you're using them overtly. People could...
You mean the dark arts of survival we're talking about?
Yeah, we're talking about the dark arts, and you've got to weave these into your game quite naturally, and don't make it look like you're doing it, because it's not a great look, because you've got the strongest character in the party and you're still playing around with shit like this. I recommend you do it, don't get me wrong, but I would be careful about your deployment of them. It could make you an unpopular player. So the next one is talk before you fight. Not every problem needs to be solved with violence. Sometimes words can save your life, and this is very, very difficult for certain people.
Wait, fuck, just looked right at me. Literally looked me in the eye.
I think it's difficult for a lot of people.
But quite often, not so much in D&D, like you say as well, because it is a little bit OP once you reach the higher levels, but some of the other games we play, it is important to be able to just not attack the first thing you see. And it is the difference between life and death on a personal level. Can be as a team as well as a TPK, can take everybody out from the wrong decision. Where you should be talking to something you're attacking.
Yeah, we are certainly in games like Cthulhu. I mean, even Warhammer, I suppose, games that is an option and it's on the table. Assuming you won't have to fight the thing later on when it's more powerful, then you probably should take it out when you can. But generally, if you can talk your way around it or find another way around to conserve resources, then job done.
I remember played a D&D game, and there was a dragon. I think you were DMing it, Stephen, and the player next to me hadn't played too much. And we knew this dragon, I think, was too much for us in the situation. Well, everything was to its advantage. And so there were some players that just didn't want to attack it. And that was probably the right thing. But this guy sat at the table and goes, I've not come to play Dungeons and Dragons, not to attack a dragon. Like, so here we go. And I could identify with that. It made a lot of sense, but it wasn't the right thing to do, but fun. And I think that's where you see it as well, Barry, isn't it? It's more fun.
Yeah, and I think, as long as some of the stuff that we talk about gets kind of exaggerated, and I don't mean that as a negative, but like, I don't do it so much that I think I'm really risking pissing off me other players. I've made some really good mates out of it, but I would think that is something to be mindful of. It's not just about your enjoyment. Try and get what you can out of it.
That's it. And most people do like a fight.
There's been one or two nice surprises that have come about by something maybe not too powerful to attack, but it does make you reconsider your options. And there's one, I think it was a beholder that collected flowers and plants. And instead of us fighting and maybe winning, but almost certainly losing a couple of people, it ended up brokering this deal, kept itself to itself. It was weird and completely out of the blue. We had no idea until it actually engaged in a conversation instead of just turning us into, dust.
So there was a way to survive that encounter, and anything other than talking to it would have ended up seriously.
Very, very badly. Yeah.
But who would talk to a beholder? I don't know.
We did.
Yeah, you did it anyway. Yeah. Just bear it in mind, we know players that just cannot resist. I'm not talking about Barry now, just because Barry doesn't get himself killed too often when doing that kind of thing. It's more, just picking the wrong fight alone can be a very serious matter, and try not to do that.
That's why you've got bards. In things like Shadowrun, you've got the face, which is becoming a more accepted role in a lot of groups, and it is the one that does the deals, negotiates, talks their way in and out of trouble.
Okay, the next one is rest while you can. Long rests in Dungeons and Dragons restore your abilities, percentage of the game, either resting or looking for somewhere to rest. You need to be thinking about these things quite often, get your abilities back. It's horrible, isn't it? D&D has real suffered from this dynamic, I think. It's not my favourite, but you've got to use it.
It's bad for a DM, isn't it? Because every time the party think, let's have a long rest, you just slap your face and think, oh my God. And again, it's about, they try it every 3 seconds if they could.
I don't know what you mean.
I mean, they don't tend to care as a DM. I'm talking about. I don't care where they do it. It's just a matter of when they need to do it. It could be anywhere. Yeah. I mean, it literally, absolutely anywhere. Hanging off the side of a mountain, need a long rest. I'm going to do it. In the middle of a dungeon, just get a long rest.
No thought of the narrative. No thought of what's playing on behind the scenes and another.
No, that's the ultimate survival technique.
That's kind of on the DM. Mark's DM'd me loads, and he's like, no.
You can say no.
Or even worse, he won't tell you that, and a quarter or a half of the way into your
that's a good way to do it. Keep throwing, but some people don't get a hint, and they just...
Problem is sometimes that people attempt to have long rest before they really do need one, and they end up getting into fights in order to have a long rest, and eventually it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. They need a fucking long rest, and at that point you think, right, they've got to have it now.
And again, I've been at a table where the DM has had to say, no, you can't have another long rest, because in game it's only been 2 hours since you had the last long rest.
That rule does have to be ignored, because long rest turned from 8-hour rests into 24-hour rests then.
So you're hoping the players kind of buy into the...
If a game's being kind of well run, when you're out and you've got the map out, where can we make it and in what time? And that's where we'll try and... I like it when it's like that, because that's probably the more realistic in terms of expeditions and stuff, isn't it? You are planning to get to a certain location and
but
then
again,
rest.
This is getting involved in the narrative of it. We're just talking about people wanting to survive. They'll do it.
Yeah.
You have to do it. You have to bring it into your game.
I think that's a really important point, Stephen, because there comes a point where the innate desire to survive actually has a negative impact on the storytelling. And I agree 100%. Although you wouldn't know it if you was at a table with me. But 90% of the time when I'm asking for a long rest, I am, it is tongue-in-cheek.
I think I'm going to create a game which is just a scenario, which is just the pursuit of long rests. So the sole objective of this game is to get a long
to your
rest.
Next long rest. I love it.
And then chapter 2, the sole objective is to get a long rest.
The Bloodsword reboot done for 5th edition have done away completely with the short rest, and they've put fairly realistic limits on what will constitute as a long rest. You've got to be in a base or a proper camp or something. So it makes things like Rangers and Underdark Rangers and such that bit more viable because they're key to finding certain places.
It's an environmental thing, being able to achieve it. In which case, the survival tip in that respect would be then to keep an eye on places that are suitable for long rests and kind of put them in the back of your mind, even if you don't need it right now. Be prepared that that's a long rest place. We know that. The DM's going to give it to us there. Okay, this other one's quite, I suppose, a bit meta. But John, I think you appreciate people's efforts in trying to achieve these things. That's using the environment to your benefit, cover, choke points, doors and things. It's
You've got the tactical overview. It's also very interactive between the players and the ref. If they can visualise what they're looking for and it's not unreasonable, let them have it. Don't say, oh no, that's not written down.
No, you'd go with it. You'd reward that way of thinking, and that improves their survival chances in your games.
Sometimes, or it can be something that get them into trouble. Okay, so they can pick up that rock. That was the only thing holding down that trap.
Oh, well, that's if you like the player or not, isn't it? I think most DMs do warm to characters that interact with the environment.
Yeah.
And I think that enhances the game experience too.
That's why I love Battleboard in terms of reconciling combat, because that stuff, I'm going to use this piece of cover. If the Battleboard is detailed enough and you're on it enough and thinking clearly enough, it's like, with a Warlock and you've got Eldritch Blast, but running from point to point to cover with a little bit of shooting from cover is a really good way to move forward. And if you do it sensibly, you're all right. I like the theatre of the mind kind of combat.
We're going to talk about those two different types of play, actually, in a future podcast. But you think that battleboarding gives you an advantage there? Because I think when I was talking to John about it, I was more considering the theatre of the mind being, and John, that's the way John approached it.
Yeah, no. But I also know that if I was battleboarding with John and I said, what, and it wasn't detailed on the map, but I was like, what kind of ground is this? Is it likely that I am going to find X or Y there? I know that he would adapt like that, but I like the battleboarding in terms of, it's much easier for me to visualise. You're moving your pieces. Your enemies are doing exactly the same, controlled by your DM. And, in terms of survival tips, even a character that's a bit dim, you can be clever as a player in combat without it compromising the fact that you're playing a stupid character. Does that?
Yeah, I think it's important that you should be able to, under those circumstances as well, use this combat awareness to its full extent. So how do you feel about rewarding players that are inventive on that level? Would that ultimately give them an advantage in a game to survive?
I think controlling the environment is vital to survive in any combat situation.
A well-organised party can really, they can take on anything, can't they? It's very satisfying as a DM to watch a well-organised party, and you can see that how much the players enjoy doing that. But individually, and I think this podcast is more about talking about how you can individually increase your chance of survival. Those things can still be there for you to do.
Yeah, it's your height advantage. You can find somewhere to climb, and like trees, people love to climb a tree, don't they, when there's a fight in the woods and fire the arrows, and they're safe because that's twofold. You can't get attacked by things on the ground, and also you get an advantage to shoot. So find yourself somewhere safe and up high. Perfect for, you ain't dying up there, are you?
Well, maybe there are people that love to take flying characters.
Flying characters, yeah. Or little flying characters that can go invisible, even better.
They're really fucking hard to kill, aren't they, those people?
Oh, God, yeah. Really hard.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely, yeah. We had a player that played my Earthdawn game. There's things called windlings. I'm sure John knows about them, but unbelievably difficult to kill this character.
They fly, they're small and invisible.
Yeah, well, invisible a lot of the time, just literally invisible because he just hides somewhere. But yeah, it's just ridiculous, yeah. Tip.
That's another tip, thinking about your character, take something that...
Yeah, absolutely. Mobility is king when it comes to surviving, absolutely.
And that's the thing with D&D, and we found this with the fly spell. It's no longer anywhere near as good as it used to be because of concentration rules. You're up in the air, and you're firing at something or attacking it, they can get you back. It's a really dangerous spell now, fly, especially in a combat situation.
I wouldn't do it.
Like, the risks aren't worth the reward.
No, it never used to be that way. And I think when you take a character that can naturally fly, you can...
Massive advantage, yeah.
Okay, we've got three left now. The next one is take the DM's hints. And if they describe a monster as a massive, terrifying and bristling with weapons, they're telling you in a narrative way that this thing could really screw you up. Don't charge into it. That'd be my advice. The DM does give hints. He does give things away intentionally sometimes in order to give you a chance of making that correct decision.
Yeah, it's very vital. Sometimes you do have to give hints to make sure they don't get a TPK, as it were.
And listen, as a player, listen to those hints.
Yeah,
not everybody picks up on them, do they?
Definitely not. Sometimes you do over-egg it as a DM. describe something so well, they go, "Oh, we can't handle that." I think, hang on, you're supposed to.
Right, so we got 2 left. And this is my favourite, this one, and I do use this. I'm very guilty of doing this, is manage your resources well. Keep your healing resources to yourself.
You do that. You do that.
Totally, dude.
Such a selfish player.
I've seen players give Mark healing solutions when he had his own healing
No, don't fall
solution.
for that shit. Check his character sheet first.
It's kind of a meta thing, but there's always going to be a little bit of metagaming. So after an encounter, people start talking about, no one asks who's got healing. Everyone asks, oh, well, how many hit points? The healer starts talking about how many hit points everyone got. Prioritises Mark because he said he was down to 4. Mark failed to mention the fact that he had like a potion of greater healing. No mention of it whatsoever. 5 or 6 sessions later, when he needed it.
And I was playing a paladin then. And he's got his lay on hands.
Modern paladins for you.
I used all the lay on hands on myself. I put him down as a selfish paladin. This is what he would do. And I justified it really, really well.
Well, that's good survival technique then.
And so after every combat, I'd lost 10 hit points. I wouldn't even tell the DM I was doing it. I'd just knock it off, put my hit points back up.
That's sly.
But no, who's going to notice lay on hands?
Well, we give him a chance to. You've given him no chance there. That's sly, that is.
Shit, yeah, you're right.
That is no star. That's terrible.
Yeah, we're looking at alignment and stuff because just working together. We're looking at survival tips. Working together, teamwork. That's a major thing. I mean, if you're doing it to make sure that you're able to tank hits to protect.
Yeah, of course.
If there's big if, and no one here believes what you just said. So
we'll have to re-record this because it obviously come across very, very much differently to the way I've been intended it.
Someone else got targeted today.
Exposing these dark techniques. It's fair. So this is what this is about, isn't it?
It is. It's a dark art. It's really worth doing, I'd say.
If people are using up spells, that's a different thing. You get those back. I get conservation of potions, but spells and sharing, come on, that's your basics.
Don't survive by sharing.
You do. That's the whole thing.
No.
You just don't admit you're not sharing. That's the survival technique. You just do it because you're not looking selfish because you've told no one you've done it. It's so dark art. It's low.
And that's Steve saying it. Come on.
You can. If I was to say, so DM, I'm just laying on hands now, just topping myself up.
It would sound selfish.
It would but it's not. It's either everybody fucking knows or nobody knows. And I'm saying I'm going to do it at some point. So when I know that nobody can be looking, just lay on hands. I mean, you have to say anything.
That makes it worse, not better. Just
it's not okay. It is a selfish action, but it isn't. I've not applied it wrongly. I don't think.
I don't think we're disappointed for the selfish action. I think we're disappointed with the dishonesty, Mark.
Don't get me wrong, that's great.
But it's not often, is it, that someone says it's great and it's a dark art and they mean it sincerely at the same time as giving a look that says, I'm really disappointed in you.
It's a dark art. This is what it's about. So, respect for that.
Disappointed he hadn't thought of it.
It keeps your character not looking too selfish and you don't die.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do it anymore.
I think it's worse because you're playing a paladin.
I was an Oathbreaker.
Changes everything. In that case, it's bang on. Yeah, you didn't say that.
Although, is that character currently an Oathbreaker?
No, he redeemed himself.
But did you continue to do that as a player after he redeemed himself?
No comment. I'm sure I didn't. Okay. I'm obviously the only one that fucking does that, and that's disgusting. No one's going to admit to it now, are they?
There'll be other people out there, and you guys can form some kind of support group, and have coffee and biscuits, and talk about how hard it is for you that everyone's disappointed in your behaviour.
They'll bring their own coffee and biscuits. They won't share.
I've had people do it. They heal themselves, saying I'm healing myself. But never behind people's backs.
Come on, it's not breaking the rules. The DM, you could always have a chat with your DM afterwards and say, look.
When I give you a nod, that's when I'm doing it.
Yeah, just sure. That's it, a little knock on the table and the
DM says, roll perception rolls, everyone, please.
Yes.
A DM would, some DMs would do that.
They would. I would.
Yeah. And quite rightly.
No one ever asked me for it.
I thought we were mates.
I'm sure there was enough healing to go around, wasn't there?
No, many times there was not. Now I'm replaying this back in my head.
Did anyone die because of this?
I don't know. I used it quite early on, actually. I wouldn't have it late on, those kind of things. I think use it or lose it.
Yeah. Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on.
Sharing is caring.
Okay, and that last one, this is check range on everything. Find the optimum position to stand. And if something can get you, it most likely will. And this is like movements of monsters primarily, just make sure that the DM can't move and attack you with the big baddie.
Well, that's where battleboarding comes in a bit more useful. You
can
can position your character quite strategically there. Or even when you play a narrative, to be fair, you can always say, my character wasn't there. You have an advantage there because it's in the mind. You can DM says, it attacks you. Says, no, I was behind the cart. That's the ultimate. It is. People do it a lot. So I wasn't there. I was behind the cart.
Don't
not
use
in
that
front
too
of
often, but yeah,
people do.
Doesn't work against grenades. In fact, that will go badly for you.
But there is. But
So in terms of checking the range, just play a warlock, man. just play a warlock.
So where are you about to use?
I'm 300 feet away, bitch.
Nothing's getting in.
The Eldritch Blast, the combat spell, stacks so well as it levels up. Like it increases in range. You can push people back 10 feet. I had a great encounter where we were like on a mountain pass and we had some kind of encounter with combat, and I rolled really high on initiative, then rolled really high on my 2 Eldritch Blast beams that pushed the 2 people back 10 foot, or the 2 monsters back 10 foot, which pushed them off the edge of the mountain. And it was like, first action, first round, 50% of the enemies were dead. And I just sort of thought, I'm going to sit back and let you take the rest of them, folks.
The warlock doesn't have that problem. I find that sometimes the spell range can be quite low, and then I'm saying if the DM can get you, he will. Especially if you're somebody that has got away with it a lot in the past and he's not been able to get. If you're that character that doesn't get attacked very often.
Always plays a ranged character, you mean? Someone always plays ranged, yeah.
And, watch out for when someone starts putting their finger on each square going 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40. Oh, you're dead.
You should maybe call for a perception or an intelligence check to figure that out, depending on what the conditions are.
Or just out with the grenades.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great tactic, really, John, but doesn't. But in D&D, it's not really.
Fireball.
Gnome alchemists. Actually, I don't know if they have to be known. Artificers, I think they're called. They've got explosives.
Any game you play with John, he'll grenade you.
No.
But I think that keep an eye on where the big baddie is, the one you know that you do not want to be attacked by it. That people are knocking their hit points down on it slowly, but when it goes for somebody, it's knocking them out. Just beware where that is and where you are in relation to it.
If you can get a rear attack on it as well, especially.
You've got the narrative heroic attack. It might have a massive bite attack.
You don't need heroic attack. That's putting yourself in danger, isn't it?
No, if you can jump in behind its head, it can't bite you.
I would prefer to sneak behind something unnoticed and then do an attack, and potentially. And then, the rogue's perfect in D&D survival because they can just move out immediately. Annoys everyone, doesn't it? So you run in, hit something, and then you've gone. You've done your damage and they had no danger. Perfect.
We'll go around each of you and ask which would be your best survival tactic, which is the one you favour and perhaps have used the most, and which would you recommend works best? Barry?
Never fall out with a healer. Just don't. It's insanity. Even if they are a punk-ass bitch. And they're...
Tell us how you really feel.
Nasty and horrible and smelly, and just, don't fall out with them, no matter what.
Great tip. Yeah, I love it. John?
Working together, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you stand alone, you die alone. Yeah. And if that's your intention for a situation, holding off I'm all for a heroic sacrifice or even a stupid one. If you're going to die anyway, absolutely. That's the stuff that people talk about, even if it's disparagingly. But working together.
Yeah. And so if that's happening, be a part of it, in which case that's the way you recommend. Stephen?
Well, there's quite a few, but position I think is important. I think if your character's not in danger, then he's not going to die. Simple as, but yeah.
How would you play that without looking like a coward?
He's not bothered.
No, because you're doing something useful in that position. You can't just sit there and do nothing in that position. You've got to do something useful.
Loading crossbow.
Well, that's not necessarily useful, but
interacting with the environment, in which case.
Yeah, maybe calling for help.
Calling for help.
Or being that healer. Saying, I'm preparing a spell to heal you.
Screaming in panic.
Yeah, just trying to alert other people that there's danger here. And then when you need to step in, look a hero, you can do so. Steal the kill, I think, as they would call it. Yeah. But there's also one we didn't mention, the dark art, is going into third person with the DM and trying to get more information out of them. I find that to be quite useful. And people do use that, using the hypothesis, like, if I did this, if I opened that door, would this happen?
Do you think the DM's more likely to give you a hint under those circumstances?
You can certainly get things out. If they're not aware of it, absolutely. You can certainly squeeze the DM for information without making a single action.
My Thursday group does that consistently.
Yeah,
My consistent answer is, guess how you find out.
Yeah, you can do, but sometimes, John, you don't. There's other DMs that will just give you a bit of information. Say, you don't want to be doing that. That's very dangerous.
It's a Jedi mind trick.
It is a Jedi mind trick. I didn't say I was doing it. I said, what if?
And then the DM thinks, oh, fuck, he didn't say he was doing it.
He didn't say he did it. Yeah, it was just like hypothesizing because it is so dark. So meta.
It's the dark side.
It probably should be banned for life for it.
Like, you two are related, aren't you? I'm just kind of,
I've learned all I know from
exactly. There's clearly a family tradition here.
Some of his characters when we played second edition D&D were terrible, selfish people, and it steals everything off this. All the magic item ended up in your character.
Way back then, there was some style of play, wasn't there?
I just want to be clear that I'm pretty sure that in previous podcasts, Mark has made very similar accusations against you.
Once you're on top, that's it. And once you've got the strength on your side, you can then start to tell other characters what to do.
Yeah, it's all about power.
It is. Be powerful. That's a good way to survive too.
Oh, you're inner conservative, right? Okay, fine.
Well, we've finished this podcast now, and we're sticking with the quotes at the end.
Okay,
and you're still not working on it well enough, so I'm still providing you with quotes. So I need a credit for this one.
Okay, which one do you want me to do?
There's only one now.
Okay.
He's being very fairly treated. He's doing this of his own violation.
I am alive and healthy. If you let me write him one or two, I guarantee he'll start writing them for himself.
Okay. Next one's on you, Barry.
So, we are not retreating. We are merely advancing in another direction.
Is that Blackadder?
Yeah, it should be, shouldn't it? General Douglas Blackadder. No, hang on. And on that note, so let's
slice and dice.